Mrs. Grant, I trust I find you well.
Oh, tolerably well, sir, yes.
I'm very pleased, Mr. Bertram, to see you at home.
But I am sure, Tom, you should take some soup. Let me send Badley to the kitchen.
No, Ma'am, no, I assure you I've dined already.
There is one here, Tom, whom you have never met.
Yes, Mr. Rushworth. Indeed. Rushworth. My brother Tom.
Mr. Rushworth, how do you do?
Bertram, I'm very glad that you have come. We hope to see you at Southerton. My mother, Mrs. Rushworth, and I would like that, you know. Very much.
Oh, well, I shall be pleased. And I have some letters that will please you, Maria, from my father. Oh, and Rushworth, too. Sir Thomas sends you his fondest greetings, ma'am, by his own hand.
For Mariah's sake, I should rejoice, I suppose, that my father has approved the match. Yet I hope she finds more to Mr. Rushworth than his fortune.
Mr. Rushworth seems very fond.
And they must await Sir Thomas's return before they marry, which may not be till Christmas by Tom's account. There's time enough for Maria to consult her heart.
Perhaps Mr. Rushworth discloses more on better acquaintance.
So I'd hoped, yet I don't see it. To speak true, Fanny, the longer I'm in Mr. Rushworth's company, the more I'm convinced if he hadn't 12,000 a year, he'd be a very stupid fellow. Now you'll reproach me. Am I unkind?
Oh, how could I think so? You know I could not think so. Even this gentle man...
Fanny, I know your gentle heart, so you'll forgive me. Do you glimpse the parsonage down in the valley?
Yes, I see it.
They expect visitors.
Why, who is to come?
A half-brother and sister of Mrs. Grant, from London. He has an estate in Norfolk, but the young lady has recently been forced to quit her uncle's house. Some family difficulty. They are young people of considerable fortune, it seems. Their name is Crawford.
This is my favourite city. Oh. It is only a country parsonage, but I have done what I can. My dear, didn't I tell you my sister would be pretty?
Miss Crawford.
How do you do, sir?
And our brother has quite shamed me. He is so elegant, and we are not accustomed to it here.
Dr. Grant, I'm pleased to meet you.
I am glad, sir, that you are come.
But this is such a pretty room, and you have done with it so charmingly. Hasn't she, Henry? Wouldn't you wish to spend your life in such a country parsonage? Answer me truly.
Must I indeed? Then I would spend half of it in town and half in rusticity. Yet all that half with Mrs. Grant.
I ignore such simple flattery. Though I confess I have a great desire to hold you here. And I have formed a plan. Oh. The device is matrimony.
Oh, well, that might be pleasing, at least to me. Who shall I marry?
I have fixed on Mr. Bertram of Mansfield Park.
Mr. Tom Bertram? Why, we have met in London at my uncle's.
Indeed?
I am quite intrigued you have such neighbours. Is not his father a baronet?
Sir Thomas Bertram, yes.
Well, there must be some title to it, or it will never match my fortune. And besides, I quite like young Mr. Bertram. But Henry, what shall be done for Henry?
Henry shall marry the youngest Miss Bertram. A nice, handsome, good-humoured girl who will make him very happy.
I thank you, ma'am.
But you will never persuade him. If Henry is to marry, it must be a Frenchwoman. Well, all that English abilities can do has been tried.
Come, my dear Miss Crawford.
Oh, I assure you, I have 3 particular friends who have been dying for him, and they have all been at pains to reason, coax, or trick him into marrying. But he is the most hateful flirt that can be imagined. If your Miss Bertrams do not like to have their hearts broke, let them avoid Henry.
My dear brother, must I believe this of you?
No. I'm sure you are too good. Yet, I must tell you, I value marriage too highly to be rushed into it. I believe a wife should be, as the poet has it, heaven's last best gift.
Oh, you see how detestable he is and how he smiles. I fear my uncle's lessons have quite spoiled him.
Then you, Miss Crawford, are the more to be congratulated. I see your uncle's conduct has given you no disinclination to the married state.
And I am not at all ashamed of it. I would have everybody marry, as soon as they can do it to advantage.
And those who do not wish it have not yet seen the right person, that is all. Even you, Henry.
My dear William, we have visitors come to the parsonage. A half-brother and sister to Mrs. Grant. Amiable and elegant. Miss Crawford very beautiful besides.
What do you think of her, Fanny?
Miss Crawford?
I find so much in her to admire. And yet,